Do you guys know what Flarp is? If you have young boys, you probably know what Flarp is. This kind of feels like Flarp. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy Halloween. It is my last video in my Oktoberfest today, and of course I'm sharing with you guys my monthly favorites from this last month. I have so many products here today, you guys. I usually try to scale things down a little bit, but I've got a lot of kind of random stuff in here. Some of it I feel like I've teased a little bit to you guys this month, so you might be able to guess some of them, but some of them are kind of like random things, including a hair product, a nail polish, and a brand new lip gloss that I have overlooked. It's been around for a while and I've overlooked it and underestimated it and loving it. Okay, I'm giving away way too much. Let's get into the video, but before we do, special welcome if you are new here. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy this video and I hope you'll consider subscribing before you leave and make sure your notification bell is turned on. And with that said, we do have a lot of things to talk about, so let's get to it. Okay, let's go in kind of a random order. I want to start with a couple of hair products. So a couple months ago, actually it might have been, I don't know when it was, the last empties video that I did, I talked about a mousse from this brand called Cantu. This is kind of a brand that is kind of made for naturally curly hair. I really disliked that mousse. I ended up throwing it away completely, but in that same order, I got this stuff right here. This is their coconut curling cream. It's kind of a white, like a, oh, it smells so good. It smells amazing. But it's this like white kind of pasty cream. I love these type of creams for my hair, especially when I'm pulling my hair up and I want these little like pieces here on the side. This is really good for kind of giving me that piecey look, which I really love for second day curls, so like the day after I've washed my hair. Or if I just have a whole lot of frizz to tame, I love this stuff. So I'll actually put it on my hair when my hair is kind of dry. I will put a little bit of this in my hands, rub it together, and then I will wet my hands and then apply my wet kind of product hands to my hair just lightly. I kind of like finger lightly comb it like this. Get it through my ends really good till it looks kind of a little bit wet and stringy, and then I will scrunch it with a dry towel or a dry rag. I love what it does for my hair. Holds a curl all day, gives me really good separation, good definition without being too crunchy or too heavy. It does feel a little, products like this, these kind of heavier creams, I've tried several of them, they do feel a little heavy on your hair. Like your hair's not gonna feel soft and clean after putting these in, but it looks amazing, which is what I care most about, and it does smell incredible. And then just a couple weeks ago, I also picked up this. I actually found this at Walmart. So they do carry this brand at Walmart, which I didn't realize that until just recently. This is the Shea Butter Define and Shine Custard. This stuff is fascinating. I'm still kind of learning to work with it and trying to decide what I like to use this for. It's definitely different. It's more of a gel type product. It adds a lot more hold, like a stronger hold, less of a soft hold, more of kind of a crunchy hold, but it adds an incredible amount of shine. And the product itself, it's such a unique product. It like, do you see that? Do you guys know what Flarp is? If you have young boys, you probably know what Flarp is. This kind of feels like Flarp. And if you don't know what that is, Google it and you'll find out. It really is like a little jar of slime, but I'll just kind of tap my fingers in here until it's kind of coating my fingers. And I kind of do the same thing that I do with the other products. I'll then wet my hands a little bit and kind of dilute it and then run it through my hair. Let me just give a little bit or add a little bit of this to like a little piece of hair and see if you guys can see like the shine I'm talking about, because this gives your hair such good shine. I really, really enjoy this. So I'm really happy with both of these. They're super cheap. I think I got both of these for around $5, and that is a ton of product for $5. Come to think of it, this kind of reminds me of the Redken Rewind, which long ago was one of my favorite curly hair products, but that stuff is just so expensive. Maybe a little bit stronger of a hold to this stuff right here, but really, really good stuff. Now let's move into the makeup. So I do have a couple of foundations here that I have been really, really enjoying. Specifically these two combinations, my Pretty Fresh foundation with a tiny bit of my Flower Beauty Light Illusion. This is such a great foundation to add to other foundations. It gives them a little bit extra hydration, which always does my skin favors. This is one I often use because it's one of my darkest shades. It's way too dark for me, but it's one of my first ones that I reach for when I need to add a darker shade into another foundation to get it to match me. But I also just love the formula that this creates together. The Pretty Fresh on its own though is a great foundation. I kind of feel like I overlook this one often. I do really like it. I don't rave about it a ton, but every time I pull it into my stash or start using it again, I'm very impressed by it. It is really good. And another one that's really impressed me lately is my Essence Pretty Natural foundation. This reminds me a lot of like a BB cream. It's a little bit thicker, creamier, heavier of a feeling consistency. It doesn't feel heavy on my face, but it gives great coverage. It's nice and hydrating. This one is a bit too light for me. So again, I've been mixing it with my Light Illusion foundation just to get the shade match just right. And I love it. It's also pretty affordable, which you guys probably know or would assume, it being an Essence brand product. There is a full ounce of product inside here. Mine is probably about half, maybe 2/3 gone, but I probably would repurchase this one. This is a good kind of everyday foundation when you want something that's a little bit cheaper, it's still gonna work well. It wears pretty well on me. Great staple foundation that I've been enjoying. As for concealer, I've really gone back to my Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I'm really enjoying this concealer. It's such a quick concealer because I can put it everywhere on my face right now. The shade match is perfect. This one is in the shade Vanilla, by the way. And it is a great concealer. As long as my skin's not overly dry, I think sometimes like middle winter, like January, February, where my skin is desperately dry and I can't seem to keep it hydrated, that's when I start to notice this doesn't look amazing on me. Like it can start to look a little bit, it can emphasize dry areas on my face when my skin is actually dry, but I'm not having that problem with it right now. I'm really enjoying it. The formula is great. It has good coverage, really quick and easy to blend, just a good all-purpose foundation that I really love. As for bronzer this month, I have been loving my NARS Laguna bronzer. I've also been loving my Flower Beauty bronzer. That was a favorite last month. It kind of saw me through the first week and a half of this month of October, and then I transitioned over to this one, which is surprisingly a significantly warmer bronzer than the Flower Beauty, but I really love the warmth of this bronzer. It is extremely easy to blend. I mean, I can put this bronzer on in like 7 seconds. You just like put a ton in your brush, smack it on and blend it out, and it just looks really good. One of those you can't screw it up kind of bronzers. I really have been enjoying it. You guys have probably seen it in a lot of videos this month. Let's talk about a highlighter. So I've been going back to my Essence Pure Nude highlighter. This is another one that I just got done using in a video for you guys. Man, you guys, this highlighter is so good. And I'll tell you why I'm loving this highlighter, especially right now. I recently was listening to a podcast. It wasn't even really makeup related, but they started talking about beauty tips. And someone mentioned something along the lines of like how they like to highlight and how they don't want to do anything too strong. They don't want to look like a stripper. Kind of kidding, but I heard that and I thought to myself, is that me? Am I walking around life looking kind of like a stripper? Probably not the thing most people look at me and actually think, but it made me wonder if I maybe am going a little too far with the highlighter. Am I that girl that just doesn't know when to stop? I kind of feel like I am because I really enjoy an intense highlighter. And when I ask myself, I kind of wonder if it's one of those things like I just can't get enough of a good thing because I just like shiny, pretty, sparkly things. And maybe I'm overdoing it on the highlighter. So another one I've been loving is my Spotlight highlighter from BH Cosmetics. This is a very intense highlighter, as is my Revlon Skin Lights highlighter, both of which have kind of been favorites as well this month, but I've been a little bit self-conscious about it lately, wondering if maybe I need to scale things down a little bit. I am in my 40s now. Maybe I shouldn't be highlighting like I am a 22-year-old TikTok influencer, because I'm not. And as much as I like a highlighter, and there is a part of me, probably a good half of me, that wants to say like, I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm gonna do what I enjoy. I like it. Even if it doesn't look very good on me or looks a little bit extreme, who cares? But then there's a part of me that is like, I kind of do care, you know? Anyways, so I've been enjoying this highlighter lately. Maybe my days of intense highlighters are numbered. We'll see about that. I kind of feel like it's gonna be a hard habit to break, but for right now, I'm enjoying this because I feel like it's that good middle ground where you can really build this up and get some intensity out of it without it being beaming. Can't believe I just used the word stripper in a video. Next favorite is a blush that I have kind of like hinted at in a recent video, and it is my Nude Sticks blush in the shade Sunkissed. By the way, it's not actually formally under their blush shades, it's under their bronzer shades. I was a little bit nervous about it the last time I went to link this because I couldn't find it in the blush sticks, and I was like, no, did they discontinue the shade? It is the best shade ever. And then I looked at the bronzers and saw this one in there. I don't know how you could classify this. I mean, it's like a warmer shade, but it's still pretty rosy. Like that would be a weird bronzer shade, but it is an amazing blush shade. I love this blush. I am wearing it on my cheeks today. It goes with anything. So easy to wear. Great creamy formula that's not overly like sticky or tacky if you're sensitive to that kind of thing. But it really is just the shade. I don't own anything quite like this, and it is beautiful, like gloriously beautiful. One of my favorite blush shades. I do want to talk about a favorite eyeshadow palette. Now, there are some eyeshadow palettes. I have a speed review video coming that's going to come up in November. I was planning to do it in October, but I had to shuffle some things around. So that will be coming very soon. We'll talk about some other eyeshadow palettes that I'm not talking about today that aren't quite favorites, including the new Rose Metals palette, which is growing on me. but I have mixed feelings about it. Anyways, we'll get into that later. But the one I have to mention today, because it is a favorite, and maybe not even for the reasons that it should be, is my Harry Potter palette. Probably 70% of the reason this is a favorite for me is because it is Harry Potter. This is totally a sentimental thing for me, and it being the month of October, I've really been having fun with this one. Like, I just enjoy dipping into this and reading the shades because they remind me of the books and the movies, and it's just that time of year. Gives me all the fall Halloween feels that I love. But let's just talk about the shades and shadows inside here. I haven't tried everything quite yet. Like, I haven't dipped into this dark green yet. I haven't dipped into that dark charcoal gray yet, but I've dipped into most of the other shades besides these blues right here. And I think they're good. I'd give them a solid 8 out of 10. But there are some shimmers that I feel like are a little bit on the weak side, and a couple of the mattes that I have found to be less pigmented than I was hoping they would be. This shade right here, I think it's more the shade than the formula. It does not even show up on my skin at all. Even building this up in multiple layers, I can't get it to show up. So today I opened this palette up. You'll probably never guess which shade I first went to. This one right here, obviously, because it's the exact same shade as my sweater. I can't help it. Guys, I have a problem. So this is the shade that I'm wearing all over through my crease and in my outer corner. I do have a little bit of this kind of dark charcoaly gray brown right here, just deepening out that lash line. But most of that color you're seeing through my crease is this kind of purpley taupey mid-tone gray matte shade. And it's beautiful. I actually love the shade of it, but it took a while to build that up. Like, I had to go in with probably 3 or 4 layers of that. So not as pigmented as I was hoping it would be, but the shadows are fun. I do like the color story. I just feel like it's maybe formula-wise not like the best from ColourPop, but even still, I will cherish this thing forever and have been cherishing it this last month. Next favorite is the Tower 28 mascara. I have been using this like crazy this last month, and everybody loves this mascara, it seems. I've seen so many people rave about it here on YouTube. And there is something special about this mascara. It's just such a good, quick, easy mascara. It's one of the most non-clumpy mascaras I've ever used that still gives you really good volume and length. It gives you great lift. So if you have lashes that don't hold a curl, I'd imagine you'll like this one because I really feel like it makes my lashes really stand up right. It's got a great brush. It's a rubberized brush, but it's not overly pokey to where you're gonna like injure yourself using it. It's just really, really good. There's a reason people have been loving on this thing. I'm not generally one to go for high-end mascaras because I find there are so many at the drugstore that I really love. What's the point? But another thing I'll say about Tower 28, I feel like generally for being like a Sephora, higher end Sephora brand, their products aren't crazily priced. This is a $20 mascara, which I feel like is pretty reasonable for a Sephora brand mascara. And I do think it's really great. If you like higher end mascaras, you want something that's quick and easy and gonna give you some good curl, good length, separation, this is a good one. Okay, we're getting close, guys. I've got a couple of lip products that we're gonna talk about. Again, I'm gonna mention my Wet n Wild Cloud Pouts. I think I mentioned one of these last month, but this is the shade I wanna mention today because I've been using it with so many different things. It is this one right here. This is the shade Cloud Chaser. It is a lighter shade. So I did a video recently where I tried on all of the shades of the Cloud Pouts. This was the first one that I tried on. It is quite a bit lighter, but I love this shade with a deeper lip liner underneath. So this is the one, so you can barely even see it right there. It's a really light baby pink shade of lipstick. I mean, these are such an interesting formula. You've got to try these if you haven't yet. But I love how this looks with a darker lip liner underneath, not just lining my lips, but also kind of filled in, like right around the edge a little bit. Today I'm wearing it with my Juvia's Place lip liner in Lush, which, let me just give this a swatch for you guys. I love this lip liner. It's not the most long wearing, but I love the shade of it. There it is right there. So I have this kind of smudged underneath. It's gorgeous. I also love it with my LA Girl Nonstop Nude and my MAC Whirl lip liner. It looks so good underneath this product. As I've mentioned a million times, they smell amazing, which I clearly am obsessed with because I can't ever mention these without saying that. But if you like Rice Krispie treats, you're gonna love how these smell. And then I also have a new discovery this month in a lip gloss that I kind of discovered by accident. It is the Wet n Wild Mega Slicks lip gloss. This one I don't know the shade of because sadly, huge criticism here, Wet n Wild, but so I no longer have the label that has the name of it because they wrote the name on the packaging that you have to rip off, like the shrink wrap, which seems really dumb because I can't tell you guys what this is. But if you happen to be in your drugstore and you're looking at these, this is the champagne one that has a lot of glitter in it. It is gorgeous. You can't really feel the glitter underneath. I mean, maybe mildly you can, but it's not the, like I've tried a lot of glittery, more glittery lip glosses, and this is not the most You can barely feel it there, but it is so pretty. Do you guys see that shine? It is gorgeous. I love these lip glosses. I don't know why I overlooked these for so long. I think it's because they were so skinny and they just look like there's not a lot of product in there. But I did do a bit of research since buying this one, and this has 0.19 ounces in it, whereas my Maybelline Lifter Gloss has 0.18 ounces in it. Isn't that crazy? This one has technically like a tiny bit less. And this tiny little lip gloss right here. Packaging can be so deceiving, which I should have known, but I'm wildly in love with this. I think it's great. I'm sorry it went wild. I've never really given their glosses a second thought, maybe because I had one in high school and it felt like, you know, the kind of gloss that you get over in the like lip smackers section. I remember their glosses being like that, and so I've kind of ignored them for a while. But that was unfortunate because this is a great gloss. Not too sticky, really good shine, great color range. I have another one as well that's more like a milky champagne that I love as well, but this one's my favorite. Super cheap. I think these are like $2 a piece, and they have a really good applicator. Really nothing to criticize other than that shrink wrap situation. Can't go wrong with Wet n Wild. They never seem to disappoint me other than their packaging. Their products themselves, they always knock out of the park. That's it. Oh no, I have one more thing, a nail polish. So this is the nail polish I'm wearing on my nails today, you guys. I'm in love with this nail polish color. This is from Finger Paints. I think I got this at Sally Beauty Supply a long time ago. I don't know if they still sell these there. If I can find it online, I'll link it for you guys. But it's the shade Free from Fawn. And I am in love with this shade. It's like a deep, kind of like wine red with the tiniest hint of brown in it. That's so perfect for fall. It's so flattering on the nails. It's nice and dark and rich without being like too much. Oh, I just love it. I've been wearing it for like the last 6 days or so. Can't stop reaching for this color. I think it looks so good and it wears pretty well. I think I've had this on for, I did have to recoat them before filming this video because I cleaned all my kids' bathrooms today. So they got a little messed up as I was scrubbing shower walls today, but still they've worn really well all week and I haven't had to hardly repaint any of them, but I just love the color more than anything else. And that is gonna do it, you guys. Those are all my favorite things from the month of October. I wanna give you guys a big thank you for those of you that have been joining me on this Oktoberfest, which is just watching my videos in the month of October. I got all 14 videos up. I kinda got a little bit lapsed there at the end. You guys probably noticed halfway through the month that my Monday, Wednesday, Friday uploads went to like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at like 10 o'clock at night. And then it slowly got bumped over to like Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, but whatever. I got all 14 videos, which is a huge accomplishment for me. But thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe before you leave. I have lots of fun things coming in November, but that's gonna do it for now. I will see you all in my next video. Bye. Total sidebar here. I was cleaning my boys' bathroom, so they usually clean their own bathroom, but every few months I like to go in there and give a good like thorough cleaning. Clearly they have again gotten out of the habit of lifting up the toilet seat. I have a 15-year-old and a 12-year-old at home that use that bathroom. I was furious. Like, when are my kids gonna learn this? I feel like this is a life lesson that you have to learn before you leave the house. You cannot be doing this as an adult. So here's my strategy for teaching them. And I can't decide if I should just go in and do this or actually threaten them and like use it as a threat to hold over their head first, which is usually my tactic. I'm thinking of unscrewing their toilet seat and just taking it away. Like, you don't get a toilet seat if you can't learn how to use it properly. Is that mean or is that genius? I 90% think it's genius. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do it. I'll let you guys know how it goes.